All right, let's get right into it. We all want to get more out of our bodies, right? Whether that's at the gym, on the track, or just, getting through the day. But how well do we really understand the incredible machine we're living in? Well, today, we're basically unlocking the owner's manual. I mean, have you ever really thought about it beyond just lift heavy things and eat protein? What's actually happening under the hood that turns all that hard work into real results? It's a fantastic question, and trust me, the science behind it is even cooler. And that's honestly the best way to look at it. Your body is the most sophisticated, high-performance machine on the planet. And just like any top-tier machine, it's got an engine, it needs the right kind of fuel, and it requires specific maintenance and upgrades to really hit its peak potential. So where do we start? Well, with the engine itself, of course, your muscles. But as you're about to see, the engine is only one part of the equation. The computer that controls everything, your brain and your entire nervous system, is just as critical. Okay, so every single time you lift a weight, you're actually performing two distinct actions. The lift itself, the part where the muscle bunches up and shortens, that's called a concentric action. But what about when you lower that weight with control? That's the eccentric action, where the muscle is lengthening, but it's still fighting against that resistance. Now, why is this so important? Here's the secret sauce. During that eccentric phase, that controlled lowering, your muscles can actually handle way more weight than they can lift concentrically. So controlling the weight on the way down isn't just a safety thing, it's one of the most powerful triggers we have for building new strength. And here's where things get really wild. A lot of the time, your muscles have way more raw strength than you can even tap into. So why can't you? Because your own brain is putting on the brakes as a safety precaution. This built-in safety system is run by a little thing called the Golgi Tendon Organ, or GTO for short. It's this tiny sensor sitting right where your muscle connects to your tendon, and its whole job is to act like a tension meter. So if that GTO senses a level of tension it thinks is dangerous, it pulls the emergency brake. It sends a signal straight to your brain that tells the muscle to back off and relax. That's why so much of getting stronger, especially at the beginning, isn't just about your muscles getting bigger. It's about your nervous system learning to trust the process. You're literally teaching your brain how to ease off that safety brake. So how does the body actually build itself up to be stronger? Well, it's in this constant state of flux, a cycle of building up and breaking down. We call this whole process metabolism, and it's basically a tug of war between two opposing forces. Let's break down that balancing act. On one side of the rope, you have catabolism. That's the process of breaking stuff down, like the food you eat, to release energy. And on the other side, you have anabolism. That's using all that energy and raw material to build new, complex things, like more muscle. So here's the bottom line. For your muscles to grow, the rate of anabolism, the building process, has to be greater than the rate of catabolism, the breakdown process. If the opposite is true, and you're breaking down more than you're building, you'll actually lose muscle. It's really that simple. And of course, that complicated. An engine is totally useless without fuel, right? And this whole build and burn cycle runs on what we eat. So let's take a look at the three main fuel types for our machine, what we call the macronutrients. The easiest way to think of them is like this. Protein gives you the actual bricks and mortar, the building materials for repair and growth. Fats are like your diesel fuel, super dense and efficient for long-haul, steady energy. And then you've got carbs. That's your high-octane rocket fuel, essential for immediate, high-intensity work. Let's zoom in on protein for a second, because it's not just one thing. Proteins are made from 20 different little building blocks called amino acids. Now, your body's clever. It can actually make 11 of them itself, but the other 9 are called essential for a reason. You have to get them from your food. If you're missing even one, the whole building process just grinds to a halt. Now, this is super important for everybody, but it's especially key if you follow a plant-based diet. See, most animal proteins have all 9 essential amino acids, but a lot of plant sources don't. The solution, though, is actually pretty simple. You just combine them. Pairing foods like rice and beans or having hummus with pita bread, that creates what's called a complete protein, giving your body every single building block it needs. Okay, so if macronutrients are the fuel, what are micronutrients? Vitamins and minerals. Well, think of them as the spark plugs, the engine oil, and all the essential fluids in the machine. Even with a full tank of gas, the engine just won't run without that. They might be called micronutrients, but their jobs are absolutely massive. I mean, think about it. Calcium provides the literal framework for your skeleton, but it's kind of useless unless you have vitamin D to help your body absorb it. Iron is what allows your blood to shuttle oxygen to your muscles, and vitamin C acts like a bodyguard protecting your cells from damage. They're all working together in this incredible system. So we understand the machine, we know its engine, and we've covered the fuel. Now for the really fun part, how do we upgrade it for better performance? And this is where training, and yes, supplements enter the conversation. Let's be crystal clear about this. The number one, the absolute ultimate system upgrade is and always will be consistent, smart training, because it doesn't just build bigger muscles. Like we saw with the GTO, it actually rewires your entire nervous system to be more efficient, more powerful, and lets you tap into more of the strength you already have. And that brings us to the big, shiny, billion-dollar question. With all this complicated science, can't we just pop a pill or drink a shake and find a shortcut to get the results we want? Well, the hard truth is that the marketing often gets way, way ahead of the actual science. The supplement industry is just filled with these massive claims that are often based on the flimsiest of evidence, sometimes nothing more than tests done in a petri dish, not in actual living, breathing humans. So what's the real takeaway from all of this? It's that real, genuine, lasting upgrades, they come from understanding how your body works and then putting in the consistent effort with training and nutrition. They don't come from a bottle. There really are no shortcuts to mastering this machine. We've just walked through the blueprint of the human performance machine. The engine, the computer, the fuel system, all of it. You have the manual now. So the only question left is, what kind of masterpiece are you going to build?